seafood scams, beer made with bull's testicles, and the top chef counters in the country, it's time for the Food Feeder. Hey guys, we got a lot of show this week, but first, our comment of the week goes to Sailorable, or however that's pronounced, who says she always watches the show while stoned. We don't technically condone drugs here. I do want to thank you for watching, and we'll try not to harsh your buzz. What's gonna kill you this week? Food. Just all food, apparently. CNN is reporting that the number of people who've gotten sick or have died from contaminated food is already up 44% from last year. And this year's not even over yet. Even with food safety laws in place, about 48 million people a year get sick from tainted food. It seems like every day there's a new food recall, whether it's spinach, cantaloupe, ground beef, or most recently, peanut butter. The Food Safety Modernization Act was signed into law 2 years ago, and it was supposed to give the FDA more power to hold companies accountable for these outbreaks. But most of the moving parts of this law haven't actually been enacted yet because the bill is still caught up in budget hell with the Senate and the House. So with food contamination on the rise, now it's even easier than it was before to get sick just from eating food that's supposed to be safe. Which brings us to part 2 of what's gonna kill you this week. Or at least what's gonna make you really sick this week. And just a heads up to Sailorable and whoever else is really high right now, we got some numbers in this section, so just try to focus. In the past 2 years, 2 major studies have indicated that 55% of the seafood we buy from markets and restaurants has been mislabeled. But when I say mislabeled, I don't mean like Pacific cod is being labeled as Atlantic cod. What I'm talking about is commercial fraud, in which a company will try to sell one kind of fish that's basically a garbage fish, label it differently, and sell it for a lot more money. The Boston Globe found escolar being sold as white tuna, which is really just a made-up fish. Escolar is a cheap, oily fish that's actually been banned in Japan for making people sick. And a study by Oceana found king mackerel being sold as grouper in South Florida. This is a problem because king mackerel is really high in mercury, so pregnant women and people with health restrictions are really supposed to avoid it. So when it's mislabeled, they can be eating it without even realizing. So here we have another instance where food legislation could really help us out, in this case with the Safe Seafood Act. But this one, just like the Food Safety Modernization Act, is stuck in bureaucratic limbo. But there is a little bit of a silver lining here. There was a petition put together by Oceana, which was signed by Senator Barbara Boxer and 500 major restaurateurs from around the country, urging the FDA to properly label their seafood. Some of the famous chefs who signed on with this thing include Thomas Keller, Eric Ripert, Michael Simon, and Rick Bayless. Altogether, it's a terrifying and important issue, and if you are what you eat, and we don't know what we're eating, then it sounds like we can add existential crisis to the list of every other crisis we're dealing with right now. You ever kick back with a cold, frosty beer and wonder, hey, how come there aren't bull's testicles in this? Well, I've got good news for you. Wynkoop Brewing Company is unveiling their new Rocky Mountain Oyster Stout. For those of you who don't know, Rocky Mountain oysters are bull's testicles. We actually did an episode about them over on Why Would You Eat That? So the idea behind this beer actually started as an April Fool's joke, but then the response was so good that they decided to actually make it anyway. And they want to be as local and sustainable as possible, so they're using local bull's testicles, obviously. But if a bowl of beer nuts and a glass of nut beer isn't your thing, how about beard beer? This beer started off as a joke too. Rogue Ales up in Oregon is testing out a beer made from yeast they found in John Mayer's beer. Rogue Ales has actually been trying to find different strains of yeast to make beer for a while, and they just, as a joke, looked in John Mayer's beer, which hasn't been cut since 1978. Well, as luck would have it, the 9 follicles they took had a strain of yeast in it that turned out to be perfect for brewing beer. The final version of this beer is going to be called the New Crustacean, and it should be available early next year. Well guys, hit the thumbs up if you want to watch me try this beard beer or ball beer, and please do, because I really want an excuse to try it, because I like alcohol. It's the holiday treat that probably nobody asked for, seasonally flavored Pringles. Well, if you're tired of eating regular flavored potato chips, now you can kick back with a tennis ball can filled with white chocolate peppermint, pumpkin pie spice, or cinnamon sugar. The pumpkin pie spice flavor is available exclusively at Walmart, while the other flavors are available across the country. These Pringles are just the latest snack food engineered to taste like other real foods. I found some pretty wild snack foods out there, including cheesy chipotle rice and bean chips, pepperoni pizza crackers, and even roast turkey and gravy flavored potato chips, which makes me think you could probably form an entire Thanksgiving dinner out of flavored potato chips. So if anyone has any ideas on how to do that, maybe we can find cranberry chips or drunk uncle crackers. Let us know in the comment section below. Chef counters are a pretty big food trend right now. They're like food trucks were 2 years ago, except way more expensive. A chef's counter, or kitchen counter, is a small space within a restaurant that does a unique tasting menu different from the rest of the restaurant. And it changes all the time, so when you come back later in the season, you might have a completely different experience. These kitchen counters are opening up all across the country. Jose Andres is one of the pioneers of the chef's counter trend. Well, he's reopening his wildly popular restaurant, Minibar, at a new space in DC. I saw a list on Eater of the top 12 chef counters in the country, so click the link down below and check it out. Fanboys still have to wait a few more weeks before The Hobbit comes out in theaters, but Denny's is already capitalizing on that anticipation with their new Hobbit-themed menu. At last, we can finally eat something called Radagast's Red Velvet Pancake Puppies. Hobbit harvest pies and Bilbo's berry smoothie are also on the menu, which is great because we all remember Tolkien waxing poetic about a hobbit's love of blended fruit drinks. Last but not least, I want to tell you guys to check out our brand new show. It's like a cross between Whose Line Is It Anyway and Iron Chef. This week's episode features double pork sausage. Since I'm told that we've reached our quota on male genitalia humor for the episode, I'll leave it to you guys in the comment section. Well, that's the show. You guys know what to do. Let us know what you tasted this week. We want to hear all about your cooking failures, your successes, even stuff not related to food. Whether your mom is mean to you, whether you don't like me, we love it all. Let us know. Make sure you subscribe to Taste It, and I'll see you guys next week right here on the Food Feeder.
Suffering from nearsightedness, baldness, or impotence? Why Would You Eat That has your snake wine cure. Tune into Star Chef Secrets to see how Foundry super chef Eric Greenspan makes his award-winning grilled cheese. Do you like food? Do you like blowing stuff up? Do you like food and blowing stuff up? Tune in to Taste Explosions to see what we're blowing up next. Did you know flaming hot Cheetos turn your poop red? Learn more major breaking food news each week on Food Feeder. How about some armpit fruit salad? It's got a porcupine shell and smells like turpentine, rotten onions, and gym socks. Yum. On Amazing Food Tricks with Jill, learn how a simple slice of bread can be used to clean up broken glass.